Hey guys, Moya from the Naked Orchid. Welcome to the next orchid of the week. So this is my Dendrobium nobile, otherwise commonly referred to as the noble Dendrobium. Anyway, it is a soft cane Dendrobium. I do have mounted versions and I've got potted versions. And I did do a live doing a comparison between how well the potted does versus the mounted. And I think that's got to do with my lack of humidity outside here. Even though they grow really well with new growths coming for all of them already, from a flowering perspective, I think they just don't get enough. So I am going to add some moisture retentive medium for these mounts to help them and see if I can't get all of them to flower in this new year. But they really are easygoing orchids. They like a lot of bright indirect light. They will even take direct sunlight. Flowers in all sorts of different colors, from solid whites with pinks and purples to oranges and reds and yellows. They really are spectacular. Many of them are fragrant, which is an extra bonus. So I do sometimes take the potted versions into the house just to have something, nice and smelly, especially once the blooms are open. You can move it anywhere so that you have the pretty flowers to look at, because that's half the point of having orchids in a collection at your house. So Dendrobium nobile, most important thing about these guys is they have to dry out completely in between waterings. There you can see, completely bone dry. Obviously these mounted guys dry out super quick, which is why I think they're not doing quite as well as the potted versions of themselves. Again, this is so that I can show and tell the difference between when you've got them potted and when you've got them mounted. I know this is not a fair comparison, they're both flowering, but I mean those three are, they've grown beautifully, but they're just not flowering. Anyway, their flowers come during winter time. But as I said, a dry winter rest is super important for these guys. The more water you give, and if you give any fertilizer during autumn and winter, they tend to push keikis as opposed to flowers on the mature canes. Whatever you do, please do not cut off your old canes. If there is an emergency for the plant, it's where it goes, because that's where the food and the moisture is stored when there's a dry spell or you're away on holiday or whatever it is. But fantastic orchid for beginners, especially if they are potted. If they are mounted, you need to do your research and understand their natural growing environment and try and adapt your mounts to it, which is why I'm going to be doing some work with these guys this year. Guys, have a great day, and I'll see you guys again soon. Ciao.